Thank you, Shelby. As you heard from Dr. Howell on Monday, we're eager to share this podium with many voices, and today it is my privilege to invite Addie Chandler, a sophomore here at St. Johnsbury Academy, to speak with you all. Please welcome Addie.
Hi, my name is Addie. Thank you for taking the time this morning to listen to me. I sincerely wish I could have been up here talking about something a little lighter, but I feel this needs to be listened to. We already heard from Mr. Weiss about anti-Semitism and his own Jewishness, and now I'm here to talk about my own Jewishness and my experience with anti-Semitism, with the hope that it will resonate with a few of you because maybe you see me as a peer. I'm 15 years old, I like to read, I play the guitar, my favorite color is green, and I'm afraid of being Jewish. I was afraid of being Jewish when I was 7, and a stranger in a YouTube comment section told me to burn in hell because I was the devil. I was afraid of being Jewish when I was 8, 9, 10, and all through elementary and middle school because my siblings and I were told, in the gentlest way one can by our mother, that there are people in this world who hate us because of our Jewishness, and some even wish us dead. I was afraid of being Jewish when I, like Mr. Weiss, grew up imagining what would happen to me if the Holocaust happened now. I, like every other Jew I know, grew up with the weight of knowing that I would have ended up in the same ovens as my Jewish peers. The weight of 6 million people just like me was heavy to carry in 5th grade, and I was afraid. I was afraid of my Jewishness when I was 11 on my way to school because I passed a train with a swastika spray painted on it, and that was the first time I had ever seen one in person. I was afraid of my Jewishness when I was 12 because a Pittsburgh synagogue shooting had just taken place, and I worried about what could happen to the synagogue I attended. I was afraid of being Jewish when I was 14, and I came to the academy, and within just one semester, I experienced more anti-Semitism than I had in my entire life. I was afraid of being Jewish when people I barely knew came up to me in class and in the halls and told me I was going to be murdered. I was afraid when I had a peer draw a picture of Hitler on my classwork and begin to draw a swastika on my friends. And when I had a peer show me a picture of a puppy and say, "See this puppy? He hates Jews. He's gonna kill you," which was so absurd, it actually made me laugh, but that's not even half of it. There were dozens of Jewish jokes made at my expense about my murder. I was new to the school, and like everyone else, all I wanted was to fit in with my peers. But instead, I was greeted with morbid reminders of my Jewishness and veiled threats. But most recently, I was afraid of being Jewish at 15 on Yom Kippur because there were swastikas carved into the walls of this school. For the majority that don't know, Yom Kippur is part of the high holy days in the Jewish religion. It is, ironically, the day of repenting, of remorse, and apology. On the day in which I'm supposed to reflect on my mistreatment of others, I was faced with a vicious reminder of at the time when people like me were most mistreated, with a symbol of a swastika carved into the walls of St. Johnsbury Academy, a school I was once so proud to attend, a school that prides itself on its diversity and unity. This is not the school I applied to, and I know this is not the school many of you chose as well. You've heard from your superiors, but this is coming from your equal. Please stand with us. I often joke how few Jews there are at this school, but it really means something now. I grew up in middle of nowhere, Massachusetts. I'm more than accustomed to being the odd Jew out. I got used to being the only one to stand up or to speak on these issues, but we're older now, and we're smarter. So I beg of you, use your voice. The Jewish students don't have to be so alone this time. I share these stories with you, these examples of anti-Semitism from my own life, because they matter. Comments, jokes, drawings, carvings in the wall, they all matter. And when you stand by and do nothing and say nothing, it matters. After Mr. Weiss's speech, some of the sophomore class stood up and clapped. I was the only one in my row to stand, and I turned to the people next to me and I asked them, please stand up, and they didn't, because they didn't want to make a scene. So instead, I'm here, making a scene. The people that didn't stand, the people that made those stupid jokes, the boy with the puppy, do I believe they're truly anti-Semitic? No, of course not. But their silence and their complacency, their acceptance is harmful. Your words and your actions hold significant power, a kind of power your Jewish peers so desperately need on their side right now. I ask if you are to take anything from my speech today, you do not let it be that I seek pity or revenge of any kind. I do not need your sympathy. I need your voice. I need change, and I need education on the topic of anti-Semitism because it is far from gone. Too many people believe anti-Semitism ended after the war, and I'm here to show you that it is here and it is dangerous. I'm here to ask you, to plead with you, please do something. You have the power here. You have the numbers, you have the privilege, you have a voice. Why won't you do something with it? My name is Addison Chandler. I'm 15 years old. I like to read. I play the guitar. My favorite color is green, and I'm still afraid of being Jewish. Thank you.